Man, you know what time it is, man. It's your boy Fro, man. Man, Mr. Street Preacher himself. Man, I'm with the ThePrezEx TV, man. Let's go, man. Yeah.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Presidential Executive. This your homie, the exec over here, JB. This is my homie brother and over here, El Presidente Rag.
What it do?
And of course, we got Crown Vic in the building, doing the ones and twos, producing. That's doing what he do.
No microphone today.
Yeah, but he loud enough. You know, he'll talk if he.
Yeah,
if it's loud, he can.
If it pique his interest, if he say something.
Yeah, he said.
Like that day where we was going back and forth till like 11:30.
Are you talking about the driveway?
Yeah, in the driveway.
Yeah,
he'll get loud then.
We doing the driveway. Yeah, go ahead and like this video right now. Go to ThePrezEx TV on YouTube. We're on all podcast platforms. I'm not gonna do it right now.
Oh, you gotta give them the list.
Not gonna do the list. Not gonna do the list. But we're wherever that you listen to podcasts. We're on all social media platforms. So go ahead and do that. Go do us a solid on that. And I want to go ahead and introduce our special guest here today. I actually had to think about it because I don't want to be the dude that kind of introduce people and don't be genuine.
Right.
I had to think about it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this guy's music. He's actually in my playlist.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They're doing a lot. And I've been with him since a ways back, probably before the Cornerstone. You had something before the Cornerstone,
yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, you know, I've been listening to this music for 2022, over 10, 12 years. So this guy is highly successful. He is a MOG, as we all call ourselves in here, man of God. You know what I mean? Welcome to the show, y'all. Fro. What's going on, my guy?
South Memphis is on.
Come on, what's up with you? Y'all all
Yeah,
right?
you in South Memphis,
Man,
man.
yeah,
South
man,
Memphis
man.
represents.
Claiborne home, man, you know.
Oh,
St. Paul, man, Georgia Avenue, man, Mississippi.
Yeah, you from, my
know.
grandma was out there off Norris Road out there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, my grandma.
Well, yeah, you on that other side, but yeah, for sure. I
Yeah,
rock
yeah.
with you.
For sure. Hey, man, I'm happy we finally got this going, man, that you came through and we, get to chop it up and stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was telling him before, we were talking before. Actually, him and Rag was talking, kind of before. I was like, man, we can say some of this for the,
No, like I said, man,
man.
some stuff, man, I want to make sure,
man.
like we have because shoot, Fro and I, we probably hadn't had an actual conversation. I want to say was at MK's release party.
Okay.
We had the album release party at the school out in Fraser.
Okay.
And that wasn't a very long conversation. We just kind of spoke,
Right.
But some stuff you just want to make sure, you know what I'm saying, that people are comfortable talking about.
Right.
And that particular thing, though, I had thought I knew what it was, but I wasn't sure.
Right.
And so I didn't want to just be, hey, so what about this? And he kind of looking at me like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to make sure, and then so that led to a whole nother, conversation. So
I feel you.
that'll be just like if your wife was sitting in here and I'd be like, hey, JB, you remember that time we was at TSU? And then it was like, oh, my bad, I ain't mean to. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to make sure.
She know I had a life, you feel me?
But she don't know the
She
details,
don't know the detail. I don't know the detail.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody need no detail.
What's the old saying? The devil is in the details.
Yeah, nobody need no details. I've been delivered. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. With a T.
with a T. Yeah, man. This is fun for me, man. I have a lot of stuff to pick your brain about, to ask you. You know what I'm saying? Just because. I be seeing you throw it up Thursdays. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Be out there. You know what I'm saying? Be out there studying, man. Like I've been liking this shit. Like he is a whole vibe. What he be doing out there, man? He's in the CHH a gospel rap. But actually, I don't. What do you call it? What do you prefer it as, or does it matter?
I mean, I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I do like the gospel rap title. I think regardless if you like it or not, people gonna give you a title. I know a lot of rappers try to fight that, but you can't deny the light.
Please, I'm glad.
Man, when you got the light on you, man, like the world gonna say you different. You know what I mean?
You'll give me on my
and they're
soapbox
gonna
on
give
that.
you a title anyway. You feel me? Like no matter how much you try to be like, nah, man, don't put me in a box. Don't put me, man. If you ain't cussing, talking about killing, man, either we gonna call you a conscious rapper. We're gonna say you're a gospel rapper, positive rapper, gangster rapper, street trap rapper. We're gonna give you something. You just not finna be a hip hop artist.
That's what, I don't know if you remember, this was maybe a couple years ago. You know, when I got time, I'll be on Facebook, you know, commenting back. And, you know, I made a statement with talking about Lecrae. And I was saying something, I'm like, dude, they gonna call you something. You can't shake it. I told him he can't shake whatever he trying to shake, or being on the Breakfast Club, being like, oh, I'm hip hop. Like, nah, bro, you already laid your foundation.
Man, come on.
So you can't flip it. So I don't want to give him that tangent right there. Maybe we'll you know what I'm saying, make a U-turn, make a U-turn back around. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the soapbox. You know, we can talk about that all day. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one in the room don't know. But where did your name come from?
Man, that name was really just a hood name. Man, you know, I'm from the era where, you know, we was rocking the afros with the ball caps, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Doing that Bone Thugs and Harmony thing, you know what I'm saying? So I was in the schoolhouse with the biggest fro. So my fro was the biggest fro, and it would just be like round, you know what I mean? I kept that thing, kept it together. So they started calling me the fro. You know what I mean?
Like, that joint was like tall, like 6 inches.
Oh,
like
yeah. I used to, man, I got pictures where, man, that joint was, man, when I put a cap on, man, that
Right.
mother dropped down, it'd be all on my shoulders, you know what I mean? And so, man, everybody was calling me fro. Even the teachers was calling me fro.
Okay.
And so, man, you know, half the kids, the new kids would come, they didn't even know my real name. They just would call me fro, you feel me?
Right.
And so, man, fro was a hood name, man. But I'm going to tell you this, man, me and my guy, man, when I started doing gospel rap and things kind of started taking off a little bit more for me, people were asking me, what does fro mean? Where did you get the name fro from? So, man, me and my guy was in the back of the Bible, man, we was trying to find an acronym for fro. Because we was like, man, bro, we got to give these folks something. Because they asking me, like, what does fro mean? And so we in back of the Bible, like, faithful, righteous. It's like, nah, that's corny, da-da-da. Right. So I'm in the bed sleep, man, about 2, 3 in the morning, man. God came to me and told me what the acronym stand for. It stands for Father Rewards Obedience. And so, man, from that point on, man, you know what I'm saying, we've been rocking, running with it, man. I've been excited about that Father Rewards Obedience because that's what he's been doing. He's been rewarding for obedience.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, man. I don't think a lot of people do, man.
Think I
They
knew
don't really
that.
ask. Everybody don't ask. They don't be studying.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you be
I
like,
didn't know
bro.
the acronym. Like I remember the story about, you know what I'm saying? Because, and I want to say the crazy thing is when we first met, like you had cut it off.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I
and
know
I
her.
remember thinking, like, I
got it
got the
right,
name
bro.
Fro, and this man got a bald fade.
Right,
like,
right.
It was low.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
But
it was
then,
down
like,
there,
so
yeah.
he was like, no, I used to have a really big afro. I was like, okay, that makes sense. You know, so.
Yeah.
That's what I figured. Like, I was like, fro is probably because he had a fro.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was like, he kind of got a fro now, but it pales to comparison, obviously, from what you saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I didn't know that, man. That's a good tidbit. I said I was a fan. Like, I didn't even know what the fro stood for. You know what I mean? I think your government, Adrian, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's the government. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah. He said he the feds.
I just said that.
He's a fed.
Hey,
He does work for the government, though.
Does he?
it's on his Facebook page. You know what I'm saying? It's on his,
Right.
it's on his Facebook page.
Went to the
Man. You know what I'm saying? So he did what it
Say
did.
it ain't so.
Oh, man.
He's from South
That's
Memphis,
why they
man.
got
He
me.
did
This
it,
whole
man.
time I've been talking to an undercover.
Oh, right.
Now, to me, you've been doing seemingly what I've witnessed, I guess, kind of like the quote unquote impossible, as far as like living full time off
he's a
gospel rap. Now, I'm just gonna be upfront. Like, I've heard like rumors and stuff around that he maybe do this or do that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's just chirps and whispers or whatever. But I never believed it or whatnot. But I'm just like, but when you think about it, because, you know, you're not like in the same masses as like a Lecrae or Tadashi or Andominio.
Bizzle.
Right. Somebody that's, you know, on the Billboard charts, you know, every time they drop. And so I always thought, I was like, yeah, bro, knowing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't live off that to that extent without, you know what I'm saying, I think, truly kind of being called. So run us down, like how did that happen, man?
Yeah,
Like
man.
what's up?
Yeah, man. Like, and let me say this too. Like, my wife, man, she's a stay-at-home mother. I got 5 kids. We got real house, real cars, real bills. I live next to teachers and firefighters and doctors and things. You know what I mean? Man, God get the glory out of what I've been doing. Man, it started out, man. I'm from the era where
You mind
I
telling
didn't
your
wanna.
age? My bad.
Well, no, that's cool. I mean,
Okay,
nah.
okay.
So I'm from the era where, man, out the trunk was the thing. I'm from the era where 3-6 Mafia, man, had tapes and TNT, and man, they selling 10,000 of them for $7 a pop. You see what I'm saying? I'm from the era where Slim Thug and them, before they got record deals, man, they had houses that looked like cats that had record deals. So I was inspired by that culture. I was inspired by those men who didn't have record deals, but man, they had everything the dude who had a record deal had. You feel me? So my groundwork was that. So even before I came over to this side, I was out the trunk then. I was trying to get that world to happen in my life. Not really me rapping. I was really kind of more behind other guys that I was kind of helping push their music. I in the secular arena, I wasn't who I am now. You feel me? Like,
So you wasn't secular. You was like
so I'm saying
rap.
I ain't gonna say I wasn't that good,
Right.
but I wasn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I won the star.
Yeah.
You feel me? Even in the secular arena. So but I was out the trunk, man, helping them sell CDs, making a living off of that. You know what I mean? Like, so I would really be out there doing that, trying to promote, trying to get people to buy the CD, to support them, things like that. Me and my guy did a project together, and I got out there with mine. And so, man, to make a long story short, man, when I came over here, God told me to take that same approach. So my goal was, man, at the time I was like, Lord, that's gonna be corny. I'm like, nobody in the streets want to hear no gospel rap. See, the first project was Highway to Heaven.
Highway to Heaven, yeah.
And so, man, I'm sitting here like, man, out the trunk. I remember my first day getting out there, man. I got out there, man, and I, like I say, with no gig. So I'm looking like, okay, but I'm out the trunk with it, and man, and I think I walked away with like $200. So I'm like, dang, these folks shopping. So God really used that to show me that, man, it's an avenue out there in the streets. And so, man, I got out there, man. I was out the trunk. Then I realized, man, after like 6 months, I'm like, wow, God is doing something crazy. I went on and rapped my Cutlass. I got for real. So now I'm in the streets with the Cutlass shrink wrap. You saw with my face all over with the Highway to Heaven project. So now I got a whole mobile store. You see what I'm saying? At a gas station. So, man, I'm really, I was doing food trucks before they were popping.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I was just using my Cutlass.
Yeah.
I would post up at City Trends. I would post up at Walmarts, and people would actually pull over. They'd be like, man, what you do? Who is that? What you got going on? Man, I'm a gospel rap artist. I'm gospel rap. What's that? Like, I'm gonna rap about the Lord, man. Let me hear something. You know what I mean? Right. And so I'm doing concerts out in the streets. Wow. You feel me? And so I tell people all the time, man, how I built what I built was, man, when Memphis kind of got on my back, my God told me, he said, don't go to Atlanta. Don't go to Miami. I want you to go to Batesville, Mississippi. I want you to go to Grenada, Mississippi, Tunica, Mississippi, Nashville, Jackson, Tennessee, Forest City, Arkansas. So I went there and did the exact same thing there. So when people be like, man, I don't believe them. Because really, man, the churches that support me, they ain't Christian hip-hop churches. You see what I'm saying? These are churches of people who have synced the grind for years, and they support me. I tell people all the time, the difference between having fans and supporters. You want supporters. Supporters gonna spend money with you. Supporters gonna shop with you. Fans, man, they just with you while you hot. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you fall off, man, they over somewhere else. But supporters, I got people from the time when I dropped Cornerstone, when I dropped Cornerstone, I got my first $500 check to rap for 30 minutes. I'm looking like, wow.
What? Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. So yeah, so when you say, how did it start? Man, I'm from the era where, man, Out the Trunk was it. Putting them tapes in TNT and Cats and Pops and Popular Tunes and all that. You know, I'm from that era. So, you know, that's how I took that same momentum, that same game plan, and just brought it over here.
Man, look, we talked on the phone before. This was maybe a year or so ago or something, and you told me, I guess a piece of your conversion story. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, the most I've never seen somebody most on fire for the Lord than somebody that's kind of been delivered out the hood, out the streets, and I think you're pretty much a testimony kind of that. So if I remember correct, like, you had a very dramatic conversion experience, was it?
Yeah.
Like, can you get into that a little bit?
Yeah, man. Like, man, you know, at this time of my life, man, you know, I'm with the mesh. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was man, when they talk about hustle, man, like, credit card scheme, man, you know what I mean? Like, I get that Social Security and I'm burn it junk up. You know what I'm saying? I go get credit cards in your name. Like, I'm live. You feel me? Like, and to be 100 with you, man, one night, man, I was watching porn. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, you know, I can throw porn on, man. I wasn't addicted to it, but I could throw it on and just kind of be around the house counting money or just whatever. Like, just the devil just had me. You know, I had my soul. You feel me? Yeah. And so, man, I'm looking at pornography, man, and I felt it, man. I'm talking about, like, I felt the spirit, man. That was like, man. To this day, I still can't really explain the feeling of it, but it made me feel very bad for what I was doing. But not only did it make me feel bad, but then I felt loved at the same time. It was like, man, what you doing is wrong, but I love you, man. Get yourself together. You feel me? And I knew it was the God, the one who I always talked bad about. Because at my grandmother's church, I would hear them talk about him, but I would see this stained glass, blonde haired, blue eyed man I had a problem with. You feel where I'm coming from? So when the spirit came into my living room, man, it was so strong because I believed that God knew that he really had to send his spirit himself to kind of really get my attention. So, man, when I tell you, man, it was like a time of like I'm in the midst of man, got all kind of foolishness in front of me. You feel me? Yeah. And man, just man, really bawling, man, crying, man, really like on my face, like, oh my God, you real. You know what I mean? So.
Well, I mean, and I don't know if your conversion story is like that, but like generally, like when you hear of somebody, that's kind of an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? Because normally it's somebody like, man, I was in the car and it got shot up 50 times and I walked away and no bullet hit me, or everybody around me dead, and you generally hear about stuff like that. You don't normally hear somebody saying like, man, I was just by myself and I felt the presence of the Lord. And so, I don't know if yours was similar to that, or if it was more like,
no.
Was it more like a
well, I grew up in the church. Like, my dad was a reverend, a pastor, or whatnot. So, I think my experience came when I was, like you said, when I went to jail. You know what I'm saying? When I had my, you know what I'm saying? It was either you were gonna go left or you go right, and so I had to reevaluate some things. And so, but it wasn't nothing as dramatic as that. Like, I've been knowing what I would need to do, but it was always, I'll wait till 35, 40. You know what I mean? Until I'm actually, getting serious and doing that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do what I do. So it wasn't as dramatic as his, but it was just as real. Like, I heard, when I started writing, I heard an audible voice and it told me just to write. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was writing poetry, doing stuff like that. And so I didn't know what that was. You know what I mean? But, You know, to his like, but you know, I used to watch porn too, like all the time, like on Sunday. You know,
Season 1, y'all go back and check
we
that
got
out.
a porn that
Season
was
1, we had a whole
I
episode about it.
I used to just put that John on too, just like Sunday morning, like
Right.
in the college dorm. I ain't go to church, man. Let's just pop this big booty John in, man. Even look at some of that. So, but now it was what was yours like, Rag? Tell
So
me.
like the initial one was similar to that, but mine was more so, and I've shared this before. And of course, you remember, rest in peace to my homeboy Percy, but you know, P had just went to, you know, got locked up. Mr. Simon's son Marion had gotten killed, you know, by the police, and he was completely innocent bystander. And if you knew him, like church boy, like he was the dude at 17 you could call him, and he would pray with you over the phone.
Wow.
You know, he was that guy, and he just happened to be wrong place, wrong time. You know, and that's just what it was. Another one of my homeboys, again, church boy, like straight A student, hanging with his friends, got killed by the police. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they was in some dirt, but I'm saying he got killed. So here I am thinking like, okay, me and P used to get into some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we was in some mess, and so it's like, but Marion was like the church boy. You know, Eddie was like the church boy. You know, and so here I am, even though similar to you, you know, my dad is a minister, but I got to prove to everybody, because the thing with me was, it's like, oh, your dad a preacher, so if we hit you, you got to turn the other cheek. I'm like, nah, you hit me, you finna get this ass. Like, that was my mentality. That was your thing, yeah. You know, so now I got to go harder, because just to keep people off of me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like, okay, now don't get it twisted. I wasn't Pablo Escobar or nothing like that. I was, as they say, I was with the shit. That was me.
Right.
But I'm looking at it like, if two of the people that I know, good dudes, if they gone, what is it left for me? Because even though, you know, I had the high ACT score that I had, you know, I was a captain of the Knowledge Bowl team, but I had a 1.6 GPA. You know what I'm saying? Because I just refused to go. I'm not going to use this when I graduate. Like, man, bump y'all.
1.6?
Yeah, I had a 1.6. I was like, out of 200 people that graduated, I was 196 of 200. Like, and again, like, I had the highest score on the Knowledge Bowl, so like everybody knew, and people were like, "Man, you so smart. Why you always acting a fool?"
Yeah.
But I was like, if it's like that for me, you know, and I'm going the way I'm going, and if Marion could die, what's gonna happen to me? If P get locked up, and I'm doing the same stuff he doing, like, what's gonna happen to me? And so, like, P was, you know, selling dope. I was just breaking in houses. Like, house go up, foreclosure. Like, we know people get out. Man, we in there junk. Like, whatever left in the house, man, we getting it. We selling it. You know what I'm saying? But one day I was in my room and I was just like, you know, God, if you're real, reveal yourself to me. And I just laid out, you know, in the bed, and like immediately, you know what I'm saying, I started praying the Holy Spirit. So I knew then, like, that was like, okay, God, you're real. Like, I just start, like, did nobody lay hands on me? Wasn't no good message preached. Like, and I knew what it was. Like, I wasn't saying anything that, you know, I had heard before, like, but just like it was in the book of Acts, I did that. The second one, I said this on the MKJ song, but it was when July 30th, 2011, I had some bad life experience, church experience.
Yeah.
So I'm back in my BS, and had been up for like 38 hours straight. You know, I was on, I had taken some Ritalin, because if you don't know, Ritalin will help you stay awake if you need to stay awake. If you don't need to stay awake, it's bad for you. But I had taken some Ritalin. I had drank I drank a pint of Evan Williams. Because at the time I was writing for the rock band. So I was like, White Boys Party different. So this is when the Hen Black had first come out, or was really popping in this area. And so I bought a whole fifth of the Hen Black, and I had one of them big Mapco cups, like the 64-ounce joints. Poured all the Hen Black in there, poured a Monster Energy drink in there, and I dang near drank the whole thing. So I get a call from a chick. I'm on my way. Last thing I remember was getting off on the exit, you know, the Austin P exit. I was coming from out east. The last thing I remember, everything just went black. They said when they found me, like, I was in the car with my foot on the brake. It was still in drive. And like my heart stopped and my brain stopped at the same time.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So like that was the second, like, okay. And I tell people, like, had I gone at that moment, like I believe that I was in hell
Wow.
because when I came to, I didn't know how I got to the hospital, but the memory that I had before that, like I was falling. It was like in a bottomless pit, and I'm reaching out and I'm screaming, but I couldn't hear nothing. Like imagine it being pitch black, but you can kind of see your hand in front of your face, but like I couldn't grasp nothing. And I knew I was making sounds like I was screaming, but I couldn't hear, like, and I was being tormented because it's like, I know words are coming out, but I'm not hearing nothing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, like, you know, that was so, it was a difference in the first and the second.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so, you know, we still got three kind of distinct, like I said, but that's everybody. Everybody kind of got their own thing, how it, you know, how they come about, how they come to Jesus, how they, you know, hear from the Spirit and hear from the Lord and everything else. So, but my question to you, Fro, would be before that came upon you and everything, like, did you even know what gospel rap was?
Nah, so the only guy I remember my senior year, my 11th grade year, Mr. Dale, I heard on the radio on my way to school, he was finna rap at Kirby.
Yeah.
And they was saying that he was doing gospel rap. And I was like, man, what is that?
Yeah.
And I remember literally saying that driving to school, like this man, you know, he had the song on the radio with 3 6 Mafia, you know, the A and
Right.
T.
Yeah.
So, you know, and so when he started doing, I'm like, gospel rap, that man tripping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
he tripping, man. Like, nobody, you know what I'm saying? And man, like, I had never heard of gospel rap. When I started doing it, I had no clue if Mr. Dale was still doing it, if he was doing it full time, or he was playing with it, if he was back living you know what I'm saying? Like, so it wasn't no culture.
Right.
I didn't know. I never heard. I never been to a church where they was rapping it or any of that. So yeah, man, it was brand new for me.
So hold up, because Crown was laughing when he said it, and I guess because he looked at me. So for the record, so it's on camera, okay? The best time of my life, the first record deal I ever had, memories I will have forever. I'm just saying, best time of my life. Them was the best 2 years of my life. All right. You know what I'm saying? I have no hatred for anyone. I love everyone. I'm just saying, because he looked when you start laughing. How you was looking at the camera.
We gonna get into this, bro. We gonna get into this. Now, who was the first dude that you heard that did quote unquote gospel rap that you was like, oh, he pretty good. He was straight. Do you
the man?
One of them. You know, I don't know.
You talking about just through the years?
Well, your first exposure to it. Like, did you were like, oh, okay, it's not bad. It's, you know, it's pretty good. What artist was that? Or do you remember that?
Yeah, man. Like, it was a dude out of Little Rock named Demon Slayer.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Like, he don't even believe in Jesus now.
Wow.
For real?
Yeah, man. That's my guy, though, man.
Yeah.
And man, but man, he was
Demon Slayer.
Yeah, man. He was brother. Mine was. He reminded me of Mac. With No Limit,
yeah.
man. Like, he had that same type of flavor. He kind of looked like him a little bit too. He's out of Little Rock. And I used to be a fan of the dude, man. Like, I used to brag, like, he'd see me doing the shop. He's like, man, I did another CD, man. Like, I didn't roll this thing to death. You feel me? So yeah, he was one of the first ones. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's hard for me to like feel. Like, to be honest with you, man, like, and I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never really experienced a gang of gospel rappers that I just was like, oh, man, I feel that. I'm just being 100 with you. Like, I understand. A lot of them, man, like, I just, and I think lifestyle, man, behind the scenes, the anointing can get watered down. Like, I believe God really has to shine his light on you to be able to get people to really react in gospel rap the way that it needs to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, So, man, he was the first man that really made me be like, whoa, like I feel that, man. Like it's in my soul. Like you touching my soul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I never really been into like, man, gospel rap, man, swag and all that Holy Ghost. Like you gotta paint a picture for me.
Right.
If you can't paint a picture for me, if I can't see what you rapping about, if it's not gonna touch my soul. Like you gotta paint that picture.
Right.
And man, so it's very rare, man, that I even to this day, 15 years later, man, I probably can count, man, on one hand the people who I would say that
really
touched me. And plus, I'm coming from a different angle of gospel rap too.
Yeah.
Like I love, like you gotta paint, you gotta tell a story.
Yeah.
Like I don't just because you can get the crowd to jump up and down, man, that's for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's when you touch the soul. It's when I'm like, oh man, I feel this. You touching something else. You know what I mean?
That's what you did for me, bro. Like I don't remember exactly when the first time I heard you, but I was like, your flow and your cadence was so different.
Yeah.
I was like, who was this? Because at first it was like, dang, I think I like it. You know what I mean? Because at first it was so off from what I'm used to hearing. You know what I'm saying? It was just so different. And so, and I don't know, but I'm going to ask, like, you growing up in South Memphis and stuff like that, I'm sure you had rap influences growing up, being from Memphis. Like, I always thought one of them had to be Project Pat. You know what I'm saying? Just off of certain things I was hearing to where, not saying you was copying him, but, you can tell, like, he respect dude or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you tell me, like, who were your rap influences, kind of growing up?
So Ball and G
okay.
gonna be up, especially from the city. You know what I'm saying? Ball and G, man, I used to rock with Tila too, man. Like he told great stories too. You know what I'm saying? When Project Pet came with Getty Green, like, man, you know what I'm saying? I was fooling with him. Yeah. I'm not gonna say he was really like in my deck, you know what I'm saying? But he was, I would say, inspiration then, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't really just like super just my guy, you know what I'm saying? Even 3 6 Mafia, they weren't really just, you know what I'm saying? I was more into like Fly. You know what I'm saying? I was, I'm the Crown and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Happy Hearing Golden Teeth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I was into that. Like I wanted to be like Fly. I remember being at the D&D, man, and that's the. So I mean,
those he D&D. I think we brought.
So if you under like 35, you don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? But I was there tonight, man.
Parking lot was louder than the
Come on,
inside of the
man.
club.
Listen, man, I was there that night. That's what go back to the rap. I was there that night when DJ Paul and them was in the Phantom. And man, he came through in the new Corvette doing donuts around him in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So here I am looking at this. I'm like, man, this man got a fit. You feel me? Like he underground king to me. You see what I'm saying? These boys got real record deals. This boy ain't even got a record deal. He in a drop top Corvette.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm looking at that like, and I'm doing the research like, he did like 40,000 of them Judge Regional. So I'm calculating that like 7. I'm like 7 times 40. I'm doing my own math. I'm like, bro, that's what I want. You feel me? So go back to the rap. That type of world for me was inspired. So Fly was one of the main guys, man, who really, who I really kind of like, inspired the secular part of me. You know what I'm saying? Like I never, man, my guys would be mad at me, man, because I would actually see, even to this day, I still see famous people, and I don't go get no pictures or say nothing. And my folks be mad at me like, bro, that's Ty Tribute, bro. Why you? I ain't really trying to know what I'm saying. That ain't really my lane. Like, I ain't trying to know what I'm saying. Like, bro, they go Kurt, bro. Like, I done met Kurt 2-3 times. You see what I'm saying? And you ain't telling me, bro, you tripping, man. What's wrong with you? Like, man, my goal has always been to be my own boss, my own CEO, sign myself, like, and I can control whatever I gotta control. You feel me? So man, so in that world for me, man, like, man, the superstars that people would chase after, man, I be looking the other way. You feel me? I be more inspired by a dude who done told me he done came up, bought $1 million house, and don't nobody know how he bought the $1 million house. You see what I'm saying? Or his situation don't make no sense.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you got this off of selling candy blow pops. You feel me? Like, what's the name of the blow pops?
Right.
Like, I get more excited off of that than I do the dude who got a record deal or man got this big boy situation and he got popping. It's just, for me, it's like, man, you know, not anybody could do that, but anybody could. You know, you got a record deal. Record deal ain't nothing but a bank. Somebody gave you some money. You feel me? So,
And at the end of the day, they own you and not the other
man,
way
come
around.
on, man. Come on, man.
So I want to ask, like, so for you, because I mean, you know, we both was in the same space, you know, even was on a project together. But like, at what point? Because you talked about the grind, you know, and you getting it. For me, I think time is everything. And I want to know what the support was like, because for me, and Crown can attest to that, it really wasn't a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
For me, when it came, by the time the support came, I was so frustrated. I was so burnt out. I was so irritated and agitated.
Yeah.
By direct and indirect things that by the time people was like, okay, we rocking with you, you know, I just kind of flipped them the bird. You know what, I'm done. Y'all can have it.
Yeah.
For you, like, was the support always there, or was that something that deterred you? You know what I'm saying? Or was you just like, come hell or high water, it don't matter what nobody else talking about, I'm going?
Yeah. So I tell artists all the time, man, I made people support me. You couldn't deny what I was doing, even if you ain't like it. Homie at the gas station, he in the community every day. I got a shrink wrap cutlass on 23s. You cannot miss me. And I'm in the streets every day. So I made people support me. They had to support me. You feel me? Because I was a billboard riding around the city every day. It was like, even if you didn't want to see me, it's like, dang, they go Fro going down Chevy Drive. Dang, they go Fro going down Winchester. Dang, I just saw Fro in the Mound posted up over that park. Like, man, homie with it. Feel me? I tell people all the time, man, sometimes, man, you got to really make people support you. And I put my own money up. So my shrink wrap, man, all my cars I done rap, man, before I learned how to do them myself, man, I was spending $3,000. My Jesus rap, I spent $3,000 on it. You feel me? Of my money. You saw? Now, let me be G with you. Let me show you how God to do it. Let me take that back. It was my money, but a dude walked up to me and gave me $10,000, and I never seen him again. It's that type of stuff that, man, I can't even. I be trying to get folks to see what God will do when you really, really step out on faith, but it's hard because everybody want to see. And I ain't mad at them for saying, well, bro, I ain't gonna quit my job, bro, because I'm trying to see what's the next move. But, man, God be waiting on us. And, man, sometimes, man, God get the glory out of doing the impossible. Right. But, man, we be wanting God to get the glory out the norm. And he like, I can't get the glory out the norm. Man, he turn around and give you $50,000. Who ain't gonna quit their job? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, man, tell me your story, man. How'd you get on? Man, yeah, I got $50,000, man, and I could have quit too then. Right. But, man, God get the glory when he like, man, bro, you swinging out the trunk of your car, bro, and you got a real apartment on Main Street, paying $1,200 a month. I've got and so when 2010 hit, my brother, I was in the streets for 3 years, going on 3 years. When 2010 hit, I never had to do it again. Besides the hard times, that's a whole nother question. Maybe you might get to, but I had to go back to the street on very different occasions. Somebody might have canceled a show, and now I got to go make this $200. So now I'm pulling up in Batesville, Mississippi, out the trunk in the Jesus Mobile, swinging out the trunk. You see what I'm saying? But at that time, I really was doing all shows. Basically, people were bringing me in. So I said that to say, man, I didn't literally have people walk up to me, man, and give me money. And I never saw them again. You know what I mean? Like, my 7,500s, man, 1,000, man, 5. Like, man, people just, bro, let me write you this check, man. I need you to keep going. So when you talk about support, man, sometimes you gotta really stand out like a sore thumb. And sometimes it takes your sacrifice. It takes for you putting up your own money, not waiting for nobody else to invest in you. So when you invest in yourself, then people say, wow, that's why I respect y'all. When you told me you was doing it live, and I'm like, okay. And then and when I came and saw the setup, man, some people, man, they get at me, man, I be like, nah, we good. Man, your situation ain't, you know what I'm saying? I can tell you on the iPhone, I ain't knocking it. But the reason why I really was willing to do the thumbs up, man, when I saw y'all setup, I saw the investment. I saw y'all had invested in the look and invested in the sound. So somebody like myself, I'm like, man, yeah, bro, I'm hopping on that John. What's up? When we doing it? You see what I'm saying? So sometimes, man, you got to make people support you. So for me, man, I never really had that problem with support. My city support me. You feel me? Like, I mean, I get most of my shows out of my city. You feel me? Now, the problem with my city is there, you know what I'm saying? They may not pay me as much as I would like them to.
Right.
You feel me? Yeah. But they ain't never coming to me on some, man, bro, we got a fish play for you. You feel me? Like, nah, they ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
fish plate,
yeah, they hit me up like what it costs. Sometimes, you know, they be like, well, bro, we can't do that right now. Well, listen, what can you do? You know what I mean? This is what we can do. Okay, cool, we coming. You see what I'm saying? So I never had that problem. And I think that my grind was just so stupid to the point where it was just like, we can't deny him. You feel me? Like, he looking like a secular boy. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's looking like a secular boy. Like, he looking like he really doing something. Yeah. And people look at that. So the support for me was, it was always kind of.
That's,
I don't want to, so I guess for me, and like, JB and I are kind of at this place now where, like, where you at? And I think at the time where I was at, what I was looking for, and JB and I talk about this a lot. JB have time on Facebook going back and forth with people a lot. But, like, a lot of the gospel rappers, Christian rappers, holy hip hoppers, whatever they want to be called, they're looking for that validation. Yeah. And I think 25, 26-year-old me, 27-year-old me, I was looking for the validation. So to your point, and again, like Crown know, because for a large part of that, you know, he was with me. Like, we would get events, people, you know, would pay for us. Like, man, it was nothing for us to sell, you know, 100 CDs, and we'd be at Kinko's, you know, like, man, pressing our stuff up, taking pictures, making, you know, CD covers and stuff like that. But, like, for me, on a level of when I got converted, like, I really believed it. And not saying I don't now, but, like, I was really believing it. And so it was a point of, like, and we see this to the standpoint, like, man, we love what y'all doing. Man, you ain't gave us a view, though. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's like, people would buy my CD. But when we hanging out after church, it's like, oh, Roche do too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they throwing events and I'm not invited. You know what I'm saying? It's other stuff, like, and sometimes I did get hit with the humbug, like, hey, we paying, you know, Fro, let's just say you was a singer. Oh, we got Fro coming in. Oh, you can pay Fro, but you want to hit me with the fish plate. Yeah. You know, because you don't, if Fro coming, you don't value what I'm doing. Now, if Fro ain't coming, you willing to throw me, you know what? So it was a combination of a lot of stuff, but it seems to me like you was just at a point where it's like, I don't really care what y'all do. I'm going to do what I got to do. And it's like God came through. Yeah. And I was at a point then where it was like, because I wasn't seeing certain stuff, to your point, God get glory from the impossible. It was like, I wasn't seeing it the way I wanted to see it. Yeah. And so when it started to come, because I was obedient, I was faithful. So when it finally started to come, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it sounds to me like, and I think he gave some good game to everybody listening, like,
very good.
I'm going to keep, if I got a vision, if I got a mission, it don't matter what y'all do, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And if God is behind me and he's in it, he's inspired it. If he gave the vision, he's going to give the provision for it. Man, and it sounds like that's what happened. You got a vision and he gave you the provision for it.
And it sounded like he was on that Pac vibe. You was just like, you gonna feel me whether you want to feel me or not.
So and I grew up, and I mean, but I grew up, like I said, with the validation part. Like I never knew my dad. So I hear both of you say that you guys' dads were ministers. I believe that's what I heard. And I never knew my dad. So for me, I never had a validation. Like nobody never really did that to me anyway. You see what I'm saying? So I don't even know what that's like. You see, at that time, it's like, You know what I'm saying? Like, my God, came in my living room. Like, man, listen.
Why the porn was on?
Man, come on. Like, I'm this is what he told me to do. I don't need nobody to
For real.
listen. Come on, I don't need nobody to say nothing. You feel me? I'm pushing.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm with it. I'm with the mess right now. You feel me?
I do.
Well, I guess I'm looking at it like so, because your kids see this because like your kids in the house with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, if everything go right, you know, Charity will be in the house with me.
She gonna be in the house.
Your kids are in the house with you. But like, imagine your kids growing up, and they're hearing everything that you're ministering, that you're saying. Your kids hearing you, going to church with you, or being around what you're around. You know, you praying for them, you lay hands on them. But then it's like they hitting certain walls, and it's like, okay. And I remember a while back you had the thing like stupid faith. You know what I'm saying? So they grew up, they built on that. But it's like they don't understand why they hitting these walls, and nobody can explain it to them, or even you can't say like, look, I don't know why you hitting these walls. You know what I'm saying? Or even, I guess, worst case scenario, because of the way y'all set yourselves up, you probably be able to put something behind your kids and whatever they're doing. You doing that now. You know what I'm saying? With your boy, you putting stuff behind them and what they're doing. But imagine if they grew up hearing that, and then it's like, why am I struggling like you were struggling? And I grew up. I shouldn't have to go back and do the same stuff that you had to do. I should kind of start off.
I see what you're saying.
Like you see what I'm saying? Like, and we see this in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like with corporations or companies. Like if I'm the CEO. Even if I start my son from the ground up in the company, he's gonna come in like knowing I got the keys to the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Like I might have to learn how to sweep the floor and all that, but I know this is mine. But imagine you grow up hearing that, but then when you get out there, you know what I'm saying? And when I say the validation, that's kind of what I'm speaking of. It's like,
I got you.
I'm hearing all this stuff, and you know what church we grew up in. I'm hearing all this. Why am I having to deal with all these pitfalls?
I see what you're saying.
Y'all built, so is what y'all told me for real? Is this some BS?
Yeah.
Lord, like I'm in the word, I'm studying. I even went to sim, like, is this for real? And so like, again, you're a living, like I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when you first got the car wreck, like, so I've seen the progression.
Yeah.
You know, but I look at it like, again, like with y'all's kids, like they're growing up seeing that, but if they had to go, you know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
It's I want to get like Highway to Heaven. That's what I was thinking about. That was right before the Cornerstone, and so
still got that in my CD.
Old
school CD.
Wow. Fire albums, and so you know, even going through the whole Street Preacher Giant, and then we'll talk about your Heaven is Watching that you got going now. From what I've heard, like you usually don't do features or do stuff like that. Okay. Just from being, well, you know, since he said, I think I'm a supporter. You know what I'm saying? Because I done messed with him with some money and stuff like that. You know, got by the CD and stuff like that. So, however you want to call it. So, when I saw that you did a joint album with Dale a few years ago, I was surprised. Yeah. So, what's your connection with Dale? How did that come about?
So let me, you know, because Dale, man, like, listen, man, like, so. When I dropped Highway to Heaven, a girl I knew gave Dale the Highway to Heaven project. He called me, and he know the story. He called me, he like, man, bro, you dope, bro. Man, bro, I need you to get up with me, man, da-da-da-da-da. So I'm like, okay, this Mr. Dale, you know, I wasn't just super, but I was like, you know, he threw a gospel. I'm like, let me see what's up. Go by the spot, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, cool, you know what I'm saying? A little motivation, he got a real house, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, cool, I'm a little inspired. I'm like, okay, it's showing me little something that something is happening. Right. You feel me? Yeah. So we did did 2 songs, and he know the story. So I do the song, and he like, man, I got a show in Florida. Man, why don't you come through? I'm like, bad. I'm like, cool. I'm a swing through. I'm a drive. Right. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, how you getting there? He like, I'm flying. Yeah. I said, flying? I said, oh, nah. I said, so how your folks get there? Are they driving? I was turned off. I'm from the era where, I'm from the culture where if you my homie, we fly. If you fly, we fly. If you drive, we all drive. So I was kind of like, I ain't really rocking with that. You feel me? So I ain't show up. I think he was a little upset that I ain't show up to Florida. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew this time I'm driving. Like, he know I'm on the grind. I ain't show up. So, man, fast forward, man, I would say 8 years later, 7 years later, let's say 7, he called me and said, man, I see you, bro. This 7, 8 years later, he like, I see you, man. He like, man, listen, man, whatever I can do to help you, man, like, I see the grind. I've been seeing you for years, man. Like, I'm talking about, I was dead at the whole hip hop awards, and we just do the Black Power and keep on moving. Like, you know what I'm saying? It won. It just, you good, good, I'm good. Keep it moving. Like, it was just like, I'm good. Yeah. And so, man, he came to me really correct, man, and I was able to talk to him about some of the things I heard about him, because I'm the dude that really care about what people think about me. As a man of God, you feel me?
Your witness.
So, my witness. There you go. Yeah. So integrity, I'm concerned about that. You feel what and so Dale kind of had some things out that at the time, that's what I was hearing. So I was kind of like, man, let me just kind of, because me and him talked about it. I'm like, man, let me just, and so, man, but I was able to talk with him about some things, and he was like, man, Fro, yeah, he some of that stuff was Fro when I first came in, bro. I wasn't really there all the way. I still was, you know what I'm saying, fresh off with 3-6 Mafia, blah, 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 da, 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 da. So we was able to talk, man. We was able to build, and man, and he was like, man, let's do a project, man. I would love to do a project. And I was like, bet, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where that came from. Man, and Dale, man, you know, like, you know, I didn't heard some stuff about him and other artists, but man, Dale, man, he always showed it. And this what I go back to when I say the support. Man, listen, he ain't never did me from, like, he always paid me. Yeah. Like, man, like, I'm talking about, like, it's times, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you feel me? Like,
I do.
You know, I just
wish y'all could really see Crown, because he's,
you know,
like, every time you saying something, he looking at me.
You not gonna drive it.
I didn't say no. I wasn't even saying that. So as you saying this,
I guess so I ain't even looking at it.
Every time you saying something, right? JB laughing too, because every
I'm
time
glad you shared it like that though.
Every time you say something, he's looking at me and shaking his head.
We're gonna have to see this behind the scenes stuff, because I don't know what's really going on.
I know, right?
No, so like, look, man, real small. You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on.
What you saying about him? You know what I'm saying? And I say this, and I've been saying this for the last damn near 20 years. Like, I still pray for him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I still love him. The brotherhood that we had was a real brotherhood.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when I stopped rapping with him, it wasn't over no music. And people think, like, and that's why, like, when you said he paid you, I kind of laughed. Like, I never got paid.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but I wasn't there for that.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I was there because I loved him.
Yeah.
I was there because I loved the music. I was there because I loved what I was doing, the ministry.
Yeah.
That's what I was on.
I got you.
Like, when I graduated from seminary, I got off the stage after they called my name and we went on tour.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was, I didn't have no graduation. But matter of fact, that's a lie. We went to see Micah's wedding.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the time they was with us, but we went to see Micah's wedding, and then we went on tour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But to your point though, I told him when he got me, because he was one of the people with me.
Vic was.
Young dude.
Okay.
I said, man, if you get me, you got to get them.
Okay.
That was Justified 5-9 and REV. You got to get them.
I got you.
You ain't getting them. I'll keep doing what I'm doing.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? So when you said that, like, but that was what I was on. Like, I'm taking my people with me.
Yeah.
But I got a genuine love for him.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? But now, where we grew apart at, it was something completely. It didn't have nothing to do with music. It had nothing to do with money.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Some other
So
stuff.
some other stuff. But the fact that you said I haven't talked to him in a serious one-on-one conversation, so I can't say what he's doing or what he's not doing.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, I don't wish him. Wish him no ill will. And if you saying that he's grown, from what I know about you, you know you're a genuine person. You're a real dude.
Yeah.
And if that's what it is, that's what it is.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I just wanted to know the connection and how this gonna move on.
Oh yeah, no, he messy.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he got time. He just ain't got no keyboard. Well, he actually does. But
I got time,
you got time. That's why
but that was a genuine question for me, because
And that's why Crown laughing.
Through
Right,
all
he's
the
already do features,
through
right.
all the albums
Right.
in the years, you never had features. So
But
when
you
came
had
out-
this one.
Right. What's up with that? What's up with that?
so you had
Right.
Right, so,
right.
But you explained that you articulated perfectly. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Appreciate
Definitely.
that. That's all. That's all I wanted. So,
So hold up. So
okay.
let me ask you something. When you got with him, what was your motive in that? Because this is my issue, and I said when we was joking about the argument, the problem I've had, and I'm saying this on here, y'all don't come for me because y'all know what it is. I know all of y'all, so don't even do it like that. A lot of y'all wouldn't be standing on my shoulder, so don't even do it. I said what I said. They know. They know. Some of them still got the CD yet. They know.
right.
But I didn't like how a lot of them dudes, because you said you heard a lot of stuff. A lot of them dudes knew a lot of the stuff that they heard. They used Dale for a feature, for a platform. This ain't this is not the righteous me talking. This is the regular. That's some bullshit. You gonna use that man? You don't even believe in the stuff. Like you wouldn't associate with somebody who go to your church who's accused of doing some of the stuff he doing, but you'll use him for a feature though. You'll use him for you to get up. Yeah. And then you wonder why God ain't blessing you. And you turn in one room like we sitting here, you'll talk about him, but then I'm gonna go do a show with him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get that feature. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I didn't like about it, because even when he and I went right at the end of the day, if I was trying to use him, I would have just stayed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I at the end of the day, I still love him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like I didn't like how a lot of and it's a lot of artists in this city that would talk about him in the room, but then he get on a feature.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or would condemn somebody who was with their little clique if they was doing some of the stuff he was accused of. But if he called them up, so I want to know, because you said for you it's about integrity and everything like that. Yeah. So what made you? I guess what was the deciding factor for you to say I'm gonna do that?
Yeah. So I give you the game on the way I work, and a lot of artists in the city really don't know. And if they watch this, they'll know. Like, I really work better with people when we build. So a lot of artists get at me on some rapper stuff.
Right.
I get people around the country, man. Like we don't really chop it up because I ain't into no rapper stuff. Christian hip hop, man, is land of make believe. You feel me?
That was one of his albums too.
Yeah. It's land of make believe.
Yeah.
Man. Like we be doing more flyging and acting like we got this going on and we really this and we that. Dale, man, it wasn't once he called we got in the studio next week. This was probably like a whole year later. Just building with each other, just conversating, just call, little bro, how you doing? Yeah. You need anything?
Yeah.
Can I assist you on anything? Can I swoop down on you? You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, where you and I'm finna sew into you. You feel me? So I don't know the Dale that you guys, you know what I'm saying, or the people that I didn't heard, but my experience with them, and that's where they go back to, like, when you really you make people support you.
Right.
Because you really they see it, they can't deny it. Yeah. So it was a year later before we really got in the studio.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, and I'm still not trying to say, homie, because none of us is perfect. You feel where I'm coming from? But because I don't want to paint him like a saint and be like, well, when I got with him, he was a saint. Right. He was a real Christian. You know what I'm saying? He really was. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do it, but I am gonna say that for my experience with him and the time that we built, he saw. I don't want to say God said, fool with him, because I don't know what God told him, but I know what I was seeing was a guy who was supporting what I was doing. Yeah. You feel me? Like I got a video that I did, and man, he got on a UKnowFro shirt. Like that ain't, you know what I'm saying? Bro, I'm not putting on nobody. If it ain't Holy South, if it ain't Mr. I'm not putting that on. You see what I'm saying? He got a UKnowFro shirt on in the video, a sweater, Becking, you know what I'm saying? So for whatever he saw, he wanted to support what I was doing. So it wasn't really a motive. It really was more, man, just I would call it brothers. You know what I'm saying? Right. Brothers, like bro, let's do a project together.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't on no rapper stuff. It wasn't on no, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you know what I mean? I think if I do a project with Dale, I'm gonna get on. I knew I knew he had some plug for his, but my Mr. Dale's not Lecrae. He's still what I consider a street preacher. Like his venues aren't like white people with all these lights and cameras and smoke and big boy. He's still doing hood churches like me. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I knew at the end of the day he had some plug, but it wasn't about that. It really was more we just were building. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now I will say this, and to that point, when he and I first met, like kind of like how we sitting here, it was people who put him on to me.
Okay.
I never went looking for him. He actually was looking for me.
I got you.
We vibed and clicked because of like what you said, it was a genuine brotherhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so for me, like that was my brother.
Yeah.
Point blank period. You know what I'm saying? But he was on that way though. You know what I'm saying? He was on that way. He was on that way. Like some of the churches we was doing, he was on that way.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that irks me about, like I said, these other cats coming for him is because they be trying to get noticed. They was trying to get noticed by him, to get a feature, or to get, you know what I'm saying, to get on,
right. To get
and that's what kind of irked me about it, because like on the one hand, if you're with this circle, you don't rock with certain stuff he doing, but then
but you,
if he call you back, then all of a sudden you posting, I got, you know what I'm saying, and that. Man, that land of make believe. How do you feel? And I know you might have been gonna ask him this. How do you feel about the unity amongst? Because that's been a hot button topic. JB, you know more about that than I do.
What's that?
They be talking about the unity. It's no unity.
Oh, you're talking about CHH?
Yeah.
Like,
how do you feel about that?
So in CHH or in Memphis artists?
Look, like I said, I'm on the outside of that conversation because you know I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. So
I would say Memphis, because honestly, I don't. Other outside of here, all I know is what I see on what iTunes or YouTube Music and stuff. What I see, as far as I can't speak, I see more so the Memphis gospel rap world.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't speak to national. You know what I'm saying? So just basically Memphis. I would say.
So Memphis, we didn't got better. You know what I'm saying? As an OG, man, I done stepped up, man, different events, man, to pull up. My shout out, Mama Corey. You know, I be on the artists, you know, like, man, we got to support. If don't nobody support, we need to be there.
You talking about Corey Curtis?
So he got the pull up event, and I'm like, man, you know, we need to show up. We need to support. You know, I tell people all the time, man, gospel rap is still got a hip hop foundation. Hip hop is still competition. I'm better than you. Man, I can go harder than you. I think sometimes we still struggle with that. We still struggle with the idea that I might not be the guy. So what I do is I go and stand on the island by myself and think that I'm finna accomplish some things that you probably could accomplish those things if you was willing to put everything on the line. But you're not willing to put everything on the line. So now you're on an island by yourself, just by yourself. And now you upset because you feel like nobody supports you. Nah, you put yourself on that island. You feel where I'm coming from? Because really, you really want to be the guy. So we had the Thug Revival. Pastor Floyd, you know what I'm saying?
No, go ahead.
You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, like, we talked about this off camera. Like,
so the Thug Revival, even just what Pastor Floyd said about me. I mean, it's only one or two that felt some type of way when, you know what I'm saying, he called me the godfather of gospel rap in Memphis. You know, and like my conversation to guys is, it's not that I was the starter. That wasn't it. It was more that I took the banner and I ran with it. For real. Like I tell people all the time, we talk about football, man. Like, you probably can't even tell me who was the first players that played the first Super Bowl. You probably, who are they? I'm not knocking it. They helped build a foundation. Yeah. But the people you remember, you would say, yeah, man, for whoever it was for you, man, the greatest was Troy Aikman. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, or whoever you want to say, but we really not going back to the very first Super Bowl. You feel me? So, and I don't know about you, but because I want to do a documentary about Christian hip hop in Memphis, I didn't know that, brother, that like I'm really part of the second generation. So I always thought it was a whole nother clan of gospel rappers that with the War Clique and I like when I was doing my research, I was like, man, I'm thinking it's a whole nother gang of guys. No. But see, Mike, I called see Michael. He said, nah, Fro. He said, man, nah, War Clique.
Right,
and
what's that?
You know, he was like, man, Super Mario, like all the like great, like we were kind of like the first generation. I was like, what? And so I'm tripping. I'm like, dang, I didn't know that.
So technically,
go ahead.
We was
so
at the
K-Re,
end.
so
So we was at the end of the first generation. Cause so like
okay.
So like New Genesis, War Clique, because New Genesis was with that that was us. But you had War Clique, Great Commission. We were at the end of the first generation.
Okay.
The beginning of the first generation is like the One Accord, which was K-Rio.
Right.
DJ Black now, but he was Aqua Black.
Okay,
DJ
right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So K-Rio was putting me up on him,
right?
And I
Pastor Mike Arnold.
He was
to
doing
be
the
manager.
Right. He was doing the
manager, Streets Ministry.
No. What was the event he was doing?
Soul Factory.
Right.
So
they put me up on the game. You feel me?
First generation is like the beginning of it is One Accord, and then you had Halo, which was a guy named Mercy.
Okay.
Everybody know him as Jay. You know what I'm saying? But like that was the first that was the beginning of the first generation.
Vic, you said no.
You know what I'm saying? What you saying? Who? No, I'm saying that was the beginning. That was the beginning.
Okay.
So now when we what I'm saying is we would not have existed like War Clique, Genesis at the time before New Genesis, Great Commission and Mario them came after we did, but we were on the backs of them.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? And then so like to that point, I wouldn't say we were a generation behind them, but we like their little brothers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then so like to your point, when we kind of tapered off. Right. You were, Titan.
Right.
And like all of y'all started coming up, as we were kind of, tapering off.
Yeah.
And so, and we not that far in age. Right. You know what I'm saying? But
sure.
like, you got to remember, at 13, I went to church with them. So even though I wasn't
so
on
what church you was at?
Breath of Life.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then, but you got to remember when you would come to Faith International with Pastor King.
Yeah.
I was out there.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Pastor King. Sure. Yeah. Pastor King started at Breath of Life.
Yeah. Right. For sure.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like I was on the outside looking in with them, and then when I actually did give my life to the Lord, I was already rapping, but it was just a natural progression.
Yeah.
And they just brought me on. You know what I'm saying? And the guys that I was with, they brought us on in. And then that was how I linked up with War Clique and everything like that. Mario hit me up a couple of weeks ago. Right, Super Mario. And he was saying that, he was talking about, when you said the documentary, he was like, man, they talking about doing a documentary and like, who do we need to talk to or whatever like that.
You still gonna do it?
Yeah. I mean, so man, my street preacher, I was gonna end my street preacher 9. I was gonna end Street Preacher 9 with Street Preacher 901. I was just gonna feature a whole bunch of gospel Memphis rappers on it. I might not even do a verse. I'm just on the hook, or I might just talk at the beginning and let you know what I'm saying. Got a little irritated a little bit at some things that made me kind of. That's how I ended up dropping. I ended up dropping Heaven Is Watching out of the blue like that, because it was kind of like, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I be feeling some type of way. I be like, bro, y'all be tripping, man. You feel me? And so, man, make a long story short, I still plan on doing it. So the documentary is kind of what God placed on my heart to do. And so I really wanted to go back from Jump Street and interview people like yourself. And because I called K-Rio, I called C. Michael. I'm like, bro, who is the first gospel rapper in Memphis?
Right.
So everybody told me, from everybody I get, they said K-Rio was the first one they saw. Now, is that
right? And again, like I said, he wasn't by himself though.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That he was in a group. And right.
He was right. Right.
So
right. So
it was him and Aqua Black.
Okay, cool. So I just want to make sure I got my facts right. So, but yeah. So yeah. So I forgot your question. I think you.
I think I was.
And keep in mind that was back in '92 now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like,
and just to plug in here, I think Crown Vic can actually help you out with the documentary if you need some any.
Man.
If he needs to do his shooting, Crown 901.
Man, I'm gonna need some help, man. So I think, and I think for me, like I said, man, I really literally counted. I thought Memphis had way more gospel rappers than what we do. So man, when we active gospel rappers now, 30, less than 30. It seems like it's more. So when I say 30, I'm talking about this is 30 who they got a song,
Right.
They might not have a full project, or they might not be dropped in the last 2 years, but they can still come out and do a song. But it's like, I just thought it was way more artists than that.
Yeah.
And it's not. We are very small. Like, and that's why when you talk about the unity, I'm like, bro, we tripping. Like, bro, it ain't nobody. Like, bro, we should be click tight.
Yeah.
But the problem is Memphis, man. Memphis got a certain water, man. I fool with my city, man. But, man, we got a certain water that, man, we be drinking, man. That, man, we'll look at the next man and feel some type of way. And that's the facts. Like even your guy, man, like, man, you know, like I rock with little homie, man, but I told him, even all the cats I done called on the phone, nah, bro, I don't feel like that, bro. Nah, bro, that's what I'm hearing, bro. What's up, bro? Like, come on, bro. Don't do that, man. Like, listen, man, I know at the end of the day, man, you know, listen, man, I didn't come in the game. I didn't drop my first project until, like, I was 26, 27. You feel me? I wasn't no young buck. I wasn't no, man, when I dropped Highway to Heaven, brother, I had no idea 14, 15 years later I would still be doing this. I had no clue. Man, I dropped Highway to Heaven on the strength of just being obedient to the Lord. He said, drop. And I'm like, bro, I told you again, I said, it's going to be whack. That's going to be corny. I had no idea of what that looked like to be in the streets trying to push. So I'm thinking that's going to be, so I had no idea that, man, I really was going to put my foot on the pedal and I was going to push. That was I just day to day. I'm not working then. I had a wife there. That was my first situation. She won't work. Like, I'm every day grinding. So I had no idea that this would even get nowhere. You see what I'm saying? So when cats look at me and they might say something like, man, bro, I just feel like, bro, they really vouching for you because you popular. Bro, you serious? You know how I got popular, bro? I'm putting up my chips, bro. I'm grinding every day.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So for you not to want to co-sign me and say, man, Fro might not have been the first, but my homie inspired the game in a way that made cats say, man, bro, I'm going to try that, bro. Like, it's too many cats in the city of Memphis, man. When they came in, they met me. They like, man, I just wanted to meet you, bro. Like, I done heard da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Man, bro, I just see you in the city, bro. You see them cars, bro, blah, 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 blah. Like, bro, like, let's not act like that, man. Like, man, I didn't, God didn't use me to inspire. Cause, man, I remember when I told Super Mario, he said, man, Fro, how you doing that? Man, what you doing, Fro? I remember back in the day, I told you, this is what I'm doing. I done gave all of them the game. Man, none of them, except for my homie TB, was the only one that really got out there consistently out the trunk like that. Right. Everybody else would kind of just be like, no, that ain't for me. No, that ain't. But that's how it's gospel rap. We don't really have no avenues. So, man, we don't really have radio. You might got a couple internet stations or something, but we really don't have FM stations around the country. Only thing we got right now is Rapzilla, and they with the mess. So man, you gotta build your own situation because there's no avenue. So you gotta get out there and make something happen. You sitting back upset at me like, man, I just feel like, bruh, I got out there and made something happen. Not only did I make something happen, I told y'all the game.
See, I think one of the issues with that is, I talked about it here on the show before, just we living in a world of microwave success and everything else. So it's like, hey, you know, if bro put me on or do something like that, I can pop off real quick. So I don't have to necessarily put in the work or the grind with that because, I mean, we're living in a society where it's sensation overnight.
Yeah, for sure. But gospel rap, man, I know, man, listen, man, I know all the names, man. Like, you can go through my phone and I can show you cats' names, numbers that, man, cats would be like, wow, bro, you really got that dude number. Yeah. Man, like, bro, it's land of make-believe.
Right.
Man, cats be sitting around trying to figure out how I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah. And they got 50,000 followers. Like, man, how you got 50,000 followers, bro, and you trying to figure out what I'm doing. Like, it's land of make-believe. And I've been trying to get cats to realize that for years. Now, you got this bit of cats and CHH that's really doing it. And we know who they are. Yeah. The Reach Records they on a planet by themselves.
They somewhere else.
You see what I'm saying? They built something with this Kanaka camp that, man, you can't pay to do. Every summer you going to Kids Kanaka camp, man. Mm-hmm. Like, for 10 years straight, man, you can't even pay for that. You see what I'm saying? So they on another planet by themselves. But man, like the other guys that man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know these folks starving for real. Like they're not. It's not. And so I be trying to get my folks around me to realize, bro, this is what you gotta do. And it's like, nah. But then you get upset when I be like on a platform and they like, well, this dude here, we feel like, and now you looking like, man, it's like, bruh. Like like I say, don't, far as my city go, ain't number like 2 or 3. You feel me? Like, so, but it's those that I be like, man, bro, you tripping, bro. So.
Yeah, trust me, I get it.
Yeah, because he goes back and forth with them on social media. So
I have fun with it though, bro. Like, it was a time where I kind of got emotional, kind of in my feeling with something like that.
Yeah.
But to me, it's intriguing because I want to know how certain people think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's my thing. I don't get too.
I mean, but see, the reason why I don't go back and forth with him because, like I said, you won't say that because, Preacher Man Podcast, make sure y'all subscribe to that. But like, I'll tell them they full of shit. But this is why. Like he said, the count, like the microwave, like, y'all want to be Drake, you're not gonna be Drake. You said yourself earlier, like, people don't want to hear what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? The Bible tells you that the world is not gonna love you.
Yeah.
A lot of these dudes are mad because the world, like, what do you think you're doing?
Man.
If that's what you want to do, go do that. But they know they can't do that.
Yeah.
But you mad because you're not getting that love.
Yeah.
And then to your point, you giving them gold. They don't want to hear that.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Even before you, though. Yeah. And that's why I said they won't say nothing to me. A lot of them even before you. Yeah. I told, like, dude, I'm going to tell you now. This is why you're not going to make it. You married, but you sitting up here playing your wife. You got to stop doing that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You look, you in the shake jump with me.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Now keep in mind, like I said, I may not be walking it, but I know what it takes because I did it.
Right. You know what it takes.
I did it for a long time.
Right.
So like when I'm in the place where I ain't supposed to be at, and I look up and I see you in there, but then you mad because ain't nobody taking
call
you seriously.
that name.
It's like I know, right? But like,
you said, well, you being Houston. That's why you like Houston so much, huh?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. That's why you like Houston. Miami too.
That's why you say you like Houston.
But I'm saying like you want to be taken seriously, but you're not taking yourself seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, to that point, the reason why y'all not making it because you giving them game, they not listening.
Yeah,
You got other people. You got people like JB. You know what I'm saying? Who manage cats and telling you this is what it takes. You ain't listening to that. You got somebody who like me, who I came up on the back and the shoulders of K Rio, who I was with Mr. Dale when he started. Like, Holy South was me and him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go back and listen to that. Was me and Dale.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And the grind that he was doing, y'all ain't doing that.
Yeah.
The unity that me and him, y'all ain't doing that.
Yeah.
The holding, the accountability that you holding people to, they ain't doing that. And then y'all mad because y'all ain't.
Yeah, that's real.
You know what I'm saying?
This a whole vibe, Fro. Like I still got some more I need to ask, but because you asked me like, well, how long we gonna go? I told you I ain't know, but we flowing. You know what I'm saying? So
this a real live barbershop. We at the barbecue.
Yeah,
right now. We need some chicken.
Now I told you I rock with you for a long time. And I think it was with the Cornerstone. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know the name of the song. Maybe this is one what y'all were talking about. You were contemplating a divorce with your then wife.
That's exactly what.
That was exactly what you're talking about.
And I didn't know. That's why I didn't want to put it up because that's why I was asking him first.
At that time, I had no idea. I knew who you were, but that was on repeat. At the time, I was not married. I was still, for the streets a little bit. You know what I'm saying, as far as dating wise. But soulfully. Like when you said that you really connect with people that paint a vivid picture, and you can feel that. And so when I had that on repeat,
the name of it is Jenny.
And
I was telling him,
Jenny, because they had it in the beginning and the ending, right?
I was telling him and this was the time I was coming over. Like I had just went through that
with your situation
and that's why that's
bruh. So when you were going through that whole thing, like I said, to me, I wasn't even married or nothing during that time, but I felt you.
Yeah.
Even not being in that situation, I was like, bruh, really feel this. You know what I'm saying? So how were you spiritually and mentally going through that process, dog?
Yeah, right? Jenny, because he's got the forest talking, and he's talking about Jenny, and then at the end of it,
right?
And I was telling him because he was like, and just like that, she was gone. And man, but everything that he was saying, Like when he was talking about going to get counsel, and you remember I was telling you, like I was going to get, like I done talked to man Dr. Holloway, Pastor King. He was still at Breath of Life at the time. Pastor Moss, my dad, and every single one of them is like, man, Shay, we don't know what to tell you.
Wow.
And so like he was real live describing my, like when he was talking about she out there back and like, oh, she back out there playing, like
cold guy.
Yeah, you were
he
going
can
through
tell you
it.
that, he know.
Because it's like a lot of people, they can't explain when they heard Pac. Like they didn't grow up hood, they didn't grow up, but they felt him,
Right.
whatever he was going through, even though they didn't go through it themselves.
Yeah.
So just speak to that, bro, because it was Jenny, but that jump was on repeat for me.
And then what you say, he had the song on there too where you was talking about the guy who had the STD.
Yeah,
That was passing the HIV.
HIV.
Yeah, like that, man.
It was several songs on the album, but that one specifically.
That junk there was something serious. But yeah, man, like I said earlier, man, I was the guy, man, before Christ, man. Like I say, man, I would talk down on God. I didn't believe. Man, I ain't paying no tithes. He don't need my money. He on out of cat on the hill, right? What he need my money for? I was that guy. You know what I mean? Like, so I went from that guy to being in the streets telling people about Christ. So my ex-wife at the time, man, she was a college girl. So she always was in schools. Right now, she got probably 5 degrees and stuff. Like, she a nurse practitioner, like all of that. I'm not gonna say she didn't love me. I think the path I chose was very rare.
It was orthodox.
It was hard.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me your husband at the sit-go and he looked like he begging or something? You feel me? I'm trying to get people to buy my CD.
The image.
Yeah, it don't look good. Like, it's like, even though I'm coming home with $150, $200, just because your friends done saw me out there, girl, why he out there doing it? Like, it don't look good. I think after so long, and I will say too, I tell people all the time, man, I wasn't the greatest husband either. Like, my family not married. Like, nobody's married. You know what I'm saying? Like, we shacking. They, you know what I'm saying? Like, I come from that world. So I don't know what being a husband is. You feel me? So not only that, I don't know what being a husband is. I'm gone all day. So I drop my daughter off at school at 7 o'clock. Man, I ain't come back home at 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I used to run up the highway. I used to go to Nashville and come back the same day. Little Rock come back the same day. Jackson, Mississippi come back the same day. So I'm always gone. Not only that, I ain't the best husband. So when I come home, I ain't caring. I ain't so emotional with her. You know what I'm saying? So she wanted a divorce. She was like, I'm good. I'm like, no, let me try to get it together. Nah, we good. And I'm talking about my ex, it wasn't never really this thing of like, you need to get a job, you need to da-da-da. One day it was kind of like, I'm good, I'm tired. I know God got a calling on your life. I'm just not built to go through it with you. And that was her thing.
Say that, but he said that in the song. The exact words that she told me she tired. Like, you know what I'm saying? When he said, I told him I'm bitter. He told me go get her.
Man, like, bro, I'm trying to go get her, man. Like,
the whole thing. Like, my boy TC was on the, TC was really on you too. He was, coming up like, around, rough around the edges and stuff like that. And he, like, we felt you, dog. Man, I can tell, like you telling us the story now,
right?
But it's like, I felt you then, so you telling me that, I was like, oh, okay, it made sense.
No, that's why I asked him, because I'm like, for years, nigga, like that was like I ain't care, like. Man, that was on every playlist I had, because like, and it might just disrupt the whole movie. I don't care. Man. Like that's my. Hey,
who did the beat on that jam?
So my homie Lil Webb, man, they did all the production, the machine, Lil Webb. But man, I was going through a divorce. My partner, my homie in Atlanta, he be like, that's his favorite project out of all 18 projects. No. And I dropped that in 2010. He be like, man, you got made it a cornerstone. I be like, bro, I was going through a divorce with that project. I never could. Matter of fact, I don't never want to make another cornerstone. Yeah. If you listen to my tone, I'm bro, I'm screaming, bro. Like, bro, I can't believe what's going on. I'm like, bro, I'm at a place where I'm like, man, Lord, I've been out here almost 3 years on the grind for you, and I'm finna get a divorce. Like, man, I told God, this the God's on this truth. I said, man, when I drop this cornerstone, I don't really got nothing else to give you. but I'm gonna drop this cornerstone. Man, I dropped that cornerstone, man, and it must just win.
So hold on, which project of that was the cornerstone? When you did the cornerstone, like what number project was
That was number 2.
So
Highway to
after you
Heaven.
did cornerstone, you had 16 more after cornerstone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that.
So,
like I remember buying the joint. Like I don't know if I actually still got the physical CD, but you know that whole project was like I said, Highway to Heaven was my first introduction.
Yeah.
Right.
And so what made me want to get the next one, I think you had a
Album release.
yeah, you had some at Breath.
No, I had some at St. Andrews.
Was it
Right,
St. Andrews?
Yeah,
Okay.
South Parkway, Mississippi.
But you know, and I don't know where I bought it from, but I was like, I heard that joint, bro, and it rocked my world as far as I've never heard gospel rap be so transparent.
Man,
Very
bro.
authentic.
To that level, and and everybody like me, I put on a couple of my cats I grew up with on it. This gospel rap, this gospel, and you know, like I'm like, bro, like dude, like who is that? Who that is? It's bro, dog.
I was in a studio full of secular boys, and man, and they was feeling it. They like, dang, bro, you got some, bro, like. And man, I never forget, man. Like my homie Khaled in Tupelo. I'm at my mama's house. Remind you, bro. I had a house in Uptown. My ex-wife ran Rover. Like so, don't man. Like even when God came and saved me, bro, I was up then. I wasn't like broken and messed up. Like I was up when I walked away from everything I was doing. Man, I was up. So even when I went through the divorce, I was up. Like I'm on my mama's floor now. I'm sleeping on her floor. Like. And I got a big king size bed at the house that my ex-wife. So I said that to say, man, I was going through a whole lot, man. And man, I never forget, man, Andre Groove played The Lord I'm Here. I don't know, like a slam or jam it type of thing or whatever. Everybody was calling like, yeah. They like, oh my God, play it again, blah, blah. And so, man, I never forget, I'm listening, I'm like, dang. So I'm tired now, I'm pooped. Like, I don't really I'm finna, man, my ex-wife is on something else. So, and plus, you know, like, man, and my homie, he said, this ain't a Tupelo trying to book you, bro. And I was like, for real? I was like, man, I don't know, bro. I'm straight, bro. Like, I'm pooped, bro. I'm tired, bro. He was like, bro. He was like, oh, man, I told 500. And she said, cool. And I was like, what? He was like, bro, she said, cool. They gonna bring you down. And God was showing me that he was like, bro, I'm not done with you. He was like, even though you going through this right now, you gotta keep moving. And man, from that point on, it just kind of Cornerstone album. It was the best season. Like to this day, Cornerstone was still the best season of my life, far as gospel hip hop. It was like it was like people would just even Rapzilla, you know, the South.com, even all them.
Yeah,
man, they had all of them was doing reviews on it, and man, this 5 stars, and this dude need to be heard, and and you know, it just went crazy. You feel me? And man, I just watched, man, the surrounding areas of people fool with me, man. So Cornerstone, one of the projects, man, that like, man, it was I'm going through a divorce and didn't even think that I would be able to. Cause you know, man, like I said, my ex-wife, man, I was her first. I'm being G with you. So to know that, to feel like that it's somebody else in the picture, I can't even eat. You feel me? So you talking about, bro, you want me to go rap?
Ooh, boy.
Bro, I'm trying to write lyrics.
Right.
Like, Kinfo, I can't even, how am I doing this? You feel me? So, man, that album was a different push. It was a different soul touching. Like, it's just, I'm putting it all on the line. So, anyway.
That was your Usher's 8701 Confessions.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, like, he laughed, but like I said, we talked about it. Like, I don't know. Like, and I mean, you're in a different space now, and he's in a different space, but like, and I don't say this because I'm not married, but like, I've just never felt like, you know, I owned a woman. So as much as I can love you, like, I mean, I can love you and want to be with you, like, but at the end of the day, if you not, I'm Coca-Cola, as Crown Vic would drink, or like I said, I'm Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? I'm cognac. If you don't drink cognac, go drink vodka. You know, I'm cool. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Go drink water. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. But this is what it is. As long as you're doing that, I'm good. If you're on something else, So to the one point, I get how, like, because when I went through my divorce, like, I was sick because of the situation and the embarrassment and everything that I went through and trying to hold on.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to be held on to.
Yeah.
But when I came to the realization that she was done, it was like, all right,
Wow.
whatever. Like, but I had to come to that. Now, the process of getting to that realization was something.
Yeah.
But once it clicked, and he can tell you, because it was many times we was watching NFL Red Zone in his apartment, in the same apartment complex I stay in now. But we'd be sitting in there watching football, and that was my therapy session.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And he would talk me through that. You know what I'm saying? And like, before I stopped going to the church, like when I would come in, like he had me a seat. Him and his pops would have me a seat. And I felt safe.
Sitting in that front row.
You know what I'm saying? Because and the thing was, I normally sat in the back. But when I was sitting in the back, everybody would turn around and look.
Wow.
When I was sitting up there with them, I couldn't see nobody. You know, and I didn't realize, like, God was protecting me.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, but like when you felt the way you felt, was it really because of that, like her being your first and everything? Or was it just because you thought, I'm done, I'm out the game, you know what I'm saying, I'm settled down, I'm with her, and now to know that I'm not with her no more and somebody else is taking my place, like speak on that.
I mean, that's my first love, man. Like, mother of my child, man. Like, man, yeah, man, like that. My best friend. So I thought, you feel me? Like, I remember one time, man, Pursuit of Happiness is my favorite movie. You ever seen it?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Man, that's my favorite movie. Man, I'll never forget, man. She looked at me at the end of that movie with crying and said, I'd never leave you. Like, I'd never leave you. Like, so you talking about, man, get to that place. You like, what? Like this my folks. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm her first. You feel me? Like, man, that's my man. You feel me?
So
I do.
It was
I can't keep going because my wife, when she see it, she be like,
I get it.
Oh,
So,
what we do? Nah,
and this-
my
yeah,
wife.
I feel-
My wife good. I'm just joking. Nah, she good. My wife is
I
so.
get what you're saying though, because some
yeah.
people, if your wife wasn't, some people would hear what you're saying, like,
Right,
oh,
and
you
think
going
that-
back,
right.
and
Nah,
it's not
nah,
that.
nah. My
You're
wife G.
speaking of a real,
my wife,
place. You know what I'm saying? And I think we need to
nah.
normalize. It's
Nah, for
okay
sure.
for us to talk
Yeah.
about our past and our traumas
Yeah,
and where
man.
we were at in a moment in time.
Yeah, my wife know that's why she get treated the way she get treated. Because I do realize that I took advantage of the situation. Not that I wouldn't have done gospel rap then. I just would have done it a little differently.
Yeah.
So I would have spent more time. It's like, and I think that's what really pooped her. It wasn't that she was so embarrassed. It's more that not only I'm embarrassed, but you gone all the time. I don't know what you doing. Like my new wife, like, man, everywhere I go, she go. Like, man, like she's involved with my ministry. You see what I'm saying? She's involved with what I got going on. My past, man, she wasn't involved. Like, she had nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, so now she know that, like, that situation is the reason why I treat her the way I treat her. So she's humbled by that situation. As a matter of fact, she thanks that situation because it benefits her in a way that's like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
So
But she's invested in the mission.
right, there you go. And so, man, so with that, man, like even with my kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a lot of women, you know, they ain't trying to homeschool. My wife homeschools and she can travel with me. You feel me? Take my kids. You feel me? Like, so man, that's why we do what we do. We just was in Dallas last week. Like my kids, you know what I'm saying? Monday, Tuesday, I spent the extra 2 days in Dallas just because my kids ain't got to go to school. No, I mean, they ain't got to go to no regular school because my wife teaches them.
Teach them, yeah.
So, man, we in Dallas an extra. I had the show Saturday. We stayed Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. You see what I'm saying? Like in the hotel, just, you know what I'm saying? So she's invested with what I got going on. You feel me?
That's a blessing, bro.
Yeah,
That's a blessing.
man.
Now,
Yeah.
I do want to ask you a couple things here that I wanted to get your opinion on or your perspective. Y'all know the rapper D1, right? Mm-hmm. D1, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, he was on the 85 South show. This was maybe a month or two ago, and he made a statement that I thought was very profound. I thought I believed it anyway, but I thought he was like he was talking to Cornelius Miller, whatever, whoever else was on there. Carlos Miller. And he was like, and actually made me think about you, Fro, because I think you said something similar to this maybe before. he was like, the devil in the blessing business too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so just because you get promoted and get all these accolades or whatnot doesn't mean that God is the direct source.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And so I thought we've had conversation like this before, and I've, put it out on social media and stuff like that, because I think that kind of goes over people's head, because they can't fathom that, man, I'm getting all these Grammys, I'm getting these #1 Billboard hits, but that's also, you know what I'm saying, keeping you in the place that you continually at. You're not trying to rethink or trying to be better than that. Oh, because I'm winning this Grammy, so this must be, I thank God this. So I wanted to get your perspective on that, because when I heard D1 say that on that type of platform on 85 South Show, but then they were like, oh, yeah, you right. You know what I'm saying?
That's what he did to Eve, though. You'll be just like God.
Yeah.
You'll get on this, you get on this level.
Yeah,
But he does it.
Yeah.
We get tricked by it.
Man, I think the church has done a terrible job at telling us that money, big houses, cars is from God. It's success.
Right.
So when the world look at it, or the people so-called of God, they feel like the church told me that if I got millions of dollars in a big house, it's it's God gonna bless me abundantly. It gotta be from God. But they not telling them that, what work are you doing?
The context of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, how did you get that? Are you glorifying God? Is God being glorified in that? Or is the devil being glorified? So when we talk about the success in the Grammys, like, how did you get that Grammy? What did you say to get that Grammy? What type of music? What type of energy? What type of spirit were you putting out there?
See, but they look at it as the residual effect. Because, I get to help Big Mama, I get to buy them a house, I get to buy them a car, I get to pay no bills. We don't hurt no more. But I'm saying, to your point, that's not what it's about.
Right. And I tell homies that we go back and forth with on that. I say, well, brother, I got a partner who man is famous rappers. He's a famous rapper, little brother. And he say the same thing, but I tell him, I say, listen, my brother, I said, you know how many guys, young men he's leading astray just so Big Mama can have a nice house? Do you understand how many souls are being led astray so his mama, your daddy can live a certain lifestyle? So we got 30 people over here living it up while millions are over here listening to them. They're dying and crashing out. So you got to say, let's wait it. Bruh, that right there showing me that Kinfolk, like, the weight, man, Kinfolk, like, so when I hear folks say, when rappers say, oh, no, I'm saying he employing like 30 dudes, bruh, like bruh, but it's 100,000 crashing out because you ran out here talking about bang bang, shoot 'em up, kill. They in 201 right now. Can't even, man. When I go prison ministry, brother, like, I go to West High. I used to go at the out of town they bring me the out of town for the pandemic hit. Man, I would ask them young boys, man, I'm talking about 20 years old, 19, 17, how much time you get? Man, they gave me 20. 20 years? Like, I think sometimes we don't really understand the impact of what's going on until you go into prison and you see a young man look like your little brother with an orange jumpsuit on, a blue jean jumpsuit with yellow letters on it, and you be like, how much time you got? He tell you 15 years.
Or in some cases, like, young enough to be your son.
Yeah, and you looking like, what was, man, bro? Like, you mean to tell me, like, come on, man. Music, man. I don't care what nobody say, man. Music, man. Like, when I was out there, man, I ain't had no daddy. Man, I'm talking about when Biggie, and I remember when Biggie came out. Like I said, I'm still a Memphis dude, but I was listening to Biggie Ready to Die. Man, they might have me ready to die. Like I was looking at my situation, I hated my situation. I'm like, man, I'm just ready to die, bro. Like, man, I'm sick of this.
Right.
You feel me? Like the music still has a strong impact.
Yeah.
You feel he
Thugs, more murder.
man, listen.
No
Come on, man.
murder, no murder.
Yeah, man, me too.
I'm like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Come
I
on,
feel
man.
it.
So, man, I think sometimes these artists, man, they don't realize. But see, the church too, man, we have done a terrible. That prosperity, man, gospel, man, has done a bad job where people are able to spread some mess too, though, because the Christians be doing it too. They be, oh man, he like listen to me. My wife will tell you, I fool with Glorilla as a young black girl from West Side, from the Bay, who done made it out of working at rallies. Do I fool with what she's talking about? No. Because you got other little girls who saying, oh, you the way. Not only that, but the city is so happy for you. I want to be like that. What is she saying? What is she talking about? I got to talk about the site. So now all of a sudden it's...
You gotta hang out the window with that
Man,
ratchet ass
come
friend.
on, bruh.
See, and actually, what I was saying about with D1, he just put a post out maybe a week or two ago. He used Glorilla as an example because she got just nominated for a Grammy.
Or something, yeah.
And so he reposted what he did on the 85 South show, talking about the devil can bless you too.
Man, they don't believe
And
it.
so, you know what I'm saying? And so, but I saw the comments. He had a lot of people, you
yeah.
hating, you judging
yeah.
somebody, you
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. But it's like, dog, like, if we really want to go to that next level, especially as a church or man of God or the church period, you have to look at it that way.
Yeah,
because if not, it's like, what's the context of what you putting out there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not that you, like you said, you paying bills. Oh, I ain't got to worry about no MLG and WB
Yeah.
being $500 no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do this and that. But like you said, it's unjust scales. You know what I'm saying? You taking care of 50 people, but then you may have 50,000 people.
Man, it's going astray.
You know what? Like Thanksgiving just passed, and we all laugh at that. You know, I believe it's Shirley Caesar, the beans, greens. But if you actually listen to the message, though, what she was talking about, it was a guy who was going to church. Everybody at the church had Mercedes, BMWs, like they parked out. He come to church in a cart pulled by his donkey. So some church people got mad because it's like, you know, your donkey and your cart is an eyesore. You know what I'm saying? Like you coming up here and it's an eyesore. It's making people look at the church funny. You know, like, you know, what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? Like we need you to do better. And he's like, y'all think y'all special because y'all got all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, look at my house. Look at my field. He's like, yeah, this donkey I got plowed this field. He's like, yeah, the Lord bless you with the Mercedes, the Lexus, this, that, and the third. He's like, look at what God blessed me with. And that's where she says, like, he's like, I got beans, greens, potatoes. And she was actually talking about, like, to your point, like, sometimes we think that, like, oh, if it's a blessing from God, it's got to be this car. It's got to be this Range Rover. It's got to be whatever.
Yeah.
Like, your blessing may be in my area of influence, in my sphere of influence, the people that's around me.
Or just having a functional household.
You see what I'm saying? Like it ain't necessarily got to be on this level, but I also want to go back to what you said, man. You be doing prison ministry. And I'm not going to call out no names. But a lot of these gospel rappers, outside of you doing a CD or going to some church, you're not consistently doing that. How many sick people cause, and again, he could tell you, he was with me. How many times you go into a hospital praying with somebody sick, doing communion with somebody that can't make it to a church, going to schools and doing outreaches for the free, going like you doing the prison ministry.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised when you say God bless you, because that grunt work that people see is nothing.
Yeah.
Like he doing that. But some of these dudes outside, don't get me wrong, you're supposed to take care of your children. But how many people, because my dad took care of us, but every kid in the neighborhood, they looked up to Mr. Ragland, like, to this day, when people see me the first day, hey, you good? Man, how your dad doing? Because it wasn't just about the three that he had at home. My big brother who, you know what I'm saying, who was living in Florida, he making sure he's straight. All the kids in the neighborhood, he up at the school every day. And he up at Breath of Life working. and he doing the prison ministry. Most people, it's like, oh, well, I'm taking care of my. You supposed to take care of your family.
Yeah.
You don't get like, I don't know if y'all seen the Instagram meme or something. You don't get no pat on the back for being a good dad. You supposed to do that.
Yeah.
You supposed to take care of your kids. You supposed to pick them up from school. You supposed to help them out with homework. But you got kids in your neighborhood, like, or your children's friends, like, are you
right?
And you talk about you doing the prison ministry. Like, speak on that, because it's a lot of, I think, not just, and I ain't even gonna stay on the rappers, but I think in the faith, it's a lot of people that's not going beyond.
Yeah.
My four walls. And it could be at the job, it could be in the neighborhood, it could be a ministry, but like what makes you do outside of just you being on the microphone?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I say, man, I any opportunity that I get to share the gospel, I'm willing to do. So I am the guy that me and you hang out somewhere and you introduce me to your partner and we get a conversation going. I'm gonna look for an avenue to talk about the gospel. So because I believe that, man, like I got way more time in eternity than I do down here, so I don't got no time to play. I don't got no time to play. Like I have no time to play. Like I want God to tell me well done. I think sometimes we hear that and we think everybody gonna get well done. Like I need him to tell me well done. Dang, and I don't have time to be down here lollygagging and playing. Like I ain't seeing folk leave here. So I tell young folk all the time, man, death don't change us no more. Death don't make us wanna get right. It's like, oh, Lil Pookie dead, bro. Dang, pour it up, man. What's up we doing tonight? It don't make you be like, that man ain't coming back.
It's like we immune to it.
Yeah, it's like that man ain't coming back, bro. That man went in. That man somewhere, dude. Like you ain't got a phone number. You couldn't pay all the salary to hear that man's voice again. So for me, once the door opened up for prison ministry, I'm like, yeah, man, let's make it happen. They like, man, they gonna love you in there, bro. Like they gonna fool with what you talking about, bro. Let's go. I'm like, bro, let's go. So when God opened the door, just like if your partner was to come in here and you know, and if the opportunity presents itself for me to share the gospel with them, and share the gospel with them. So really it's more that I believe God, when God see fit, he'll open up opportunity, and it's up to you. And like you said, with men who like, I got kids to feed. Yeah, man, they get opportunities too. But they saying what you saying. Man, I got to take care. No, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I got this, I got that, da, da, da. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes, man, that's the problem. And I think that's what God is going to hold a lot of us accountable for with our time. And he's going to say, well, bro, like, you know, I feel you. But nah, man, you know it was time when you was there watching the football game. You could have been doing something else. It was times when you was hanging out at such and such and you could have been somewhere else. You know that. So the time was there. You just chose to use your time in other ways and satisfy yourself. Right. You know what I mean? And so, man, you know, I am just the vessel that believes that, man, I'm gonna spend more time on the other side than I am here. So I'm gonna grind over here. I'm gonna rest over there. You feel me? I'm gonna put all my work in here. And over there, bro, we gonna chill out and kick it in. And put the crowns on and worship. You feel me? Like, I ain't got time to play. So.
Bro, like, as we wind down here, bro, like, I've been enjoying it to the full. I got a couple more things I want to ask you real quick.
Let me say this right quick before you say that, before I forget.
Okay.
About the Glorilla situation. And really quick, you know, and Christians, man, we got to make our own Glorilla. I told my homie the other day, I said, I heard you mention Throw It Up Thursday. Me and him had a conversation. I said, man, the body could send me viral if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They could. For some reason, we just don't want to do it. The world, bruh, man, they will, I'm talking about they will share every foolish thing they can. The body, we see a cat grinding. We see a cat consistently pushing. Man, we'll look at it and just stroll on by.
Tell you what, you said it earlier though. when you did not, I guarantee you did not pay Pastor Floyd to say nothing about it.
Nah.
Because I rapped at the very first Thug Revival.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Pastor Floyd is a genuine dude.
Yeah.
When he called you the Godfather, like, you didn't pay. He sensed that
That's
because
just
you've been
his, right.
consistent
Yeah.
since I met you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
The problem is, though, dude, you said it earlier. Everybody think they the guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody wants to be Mike.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be Scotty.
Man, bro, listen to me.
And they don't understand. You see what I'm
It's so
saying?
crazy you said that. If you listen to Street Preacher 6, I got a song about Big Eyes and Lil U's. And I said that, man, we rather let the whole team lose. We rather, because I can't be Jordan. I'd rather let the whole team lose.
Then to pass the
Get
ball to Mike and be up under the goal to get the rebound.
Hold on. I said it on the. I can't think of the dude's name because I just went blank. But it's a dude that was on the 93 championship, got a ring. You don't even know who he is.
Yeah.
He played his position. He might have got in 1 minute out of every game. But he's sitting there with a ring because he didn't say, man, when y'all pass me the ball, man, I'm just finna start shooting that junk. Nah, bro. Your goal is to get that ball to Michael.
Yeah. Right.
So we can win. See, with the body, man, with Christian rap, man, like, man, even in the city, man, for some reason, man, we just do not want to see that flourish. Like, but it's like, man, soon, and I can't be mad at Glorilla and what they did. But I can be upset because I know it was Christians. God told me. He said, Fro, it's Christians that's sending this stuff viral.
Yeah.
It's people who so-called profess, they confess the faith, is playing a part in, ooh, y'all check this out. Check this out. And so I've been telling, like I told my homie, he said, bro, you really think that? I said, bro, listen, man, I know how it works. Man, like when I drop a Throw It Up Thursday and I see the first hour, I got 300 views and I got 15 shares. If 150 of them people would have shared, they gonna throw it in the algorithm, say this is popular, and it's gonna roll. But we be like, oh, that was dope, Fro.
Yep. Scroll.
But in the world, they twerking on headlights. Sure, man, check this out. This is dope. But anyway, I just wanted to make sure that was put out there. But go ahead. What's your question?
Now, I remember you saying somewhere like you was like you were talking about your witness earlier. It was like you really not gonna see Fro kind of just hanging, kicking it like on Beale Street or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So like
that's me though.
Because you're not gonna see JB on Beale Street.
Nah, you ain't gonna see it down there like that. But what do you do like for Fro to do like to kick it like for entertainment, like to be like okay, to humanize you to a bit, like okay, you ain't gonna be kicking it somewhere, but what you know what I'm saying? What you do like
man,
to be like?
Yeah, man. So I'm slick a homebody a little bit more than anything. So my kids, man, we got go-karts and scooters and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm one of them dudes. Like I really like to, like I said, I grew up without a father. So man, I really find enjoyment in my kids. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple partners. We hang out far as, we might go bowl. You know what I'm saying? I love to, like, even when I'm booked, I love, like, and I know you're probably like, what? Like, I love to drive. So, and some people like, bro, all right, bro, like,
I get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes
but driving, it's
I
like therapy for me. It's like, it's kicking it. It's just, I'm seeing the paintings that God had made, like everything. Look, you know what I'm saying? So I'm more of a homebody slick. I'm not so big because my God showed me something with the enemy. Like, I can guarantee you the enemy's everywhere. But I'm a BG with you. He's more likely in a club. He's more likely in places after dark that involves ungodly things.
Somewhere where you got to carry a pistol to.
There you go. So for me,
yeah,
I don't even want to get caught up in that. If I ain't out there preaching the gospel, listen, man, I got a wife and kids. Like the last thing I need is throwing the news because. And everybody on Beale Street ain't a bad person.
Yeah. Right.
But I see something bigger. I see the enemy want my life. You feel me? So I can't get caught up like Takeoff. Like I put on Facebook a little while ago. I said, man, it's some places, y'all, we got to be in the spirit to realize that God, he don't need you and want you there because the enemy ready to work. He's ready to work. So while you like when I was shooting dice, man, wasn't nobody in the dice game happy. Bro, I wouldn't dare go to a dice game right now and hang out. Ain't nothing good about this dice game. Ain't nobody shooting dice like, ooh, yeah. We in there trying to get this rent money, bro. I don't want to lose these 10 bands. Like, bro, it can get ugly. So it's like, why would I hang out there? So it's some places there we got to realize that, man, the enemy is there for sure. He's ready to work. If it ain't for God sparing us in some of them moments, man, the enemy will have his way. He'll shoot everybody down on Bill Street if he could. But it's only because of the grace of God that he like, and some folks will say, well, Fro, they shoot no Walmart for sure. But he's more likely, he's more likely
to be down there after 9 o'clock.
There you go. You feel me? You're more likely to get shot up at a club on one of these strip that after hours,
Right.
like than you are at Kroger's. Yeah. You feel me? Like it's shootings at clubs around America all day, every day. You feel me? Yeah. So it's some places that you just. So I said for me, I really find enjoyment with my kids and like go-karts and stuff like that.
You know, when he said that, you remember my student that had posted like about 2 years ago now that had gotten killed. Like he won some money at a dice game,
right?
And left the dice game, and they followed him, and that. But to your point,
yeah.
That's what. Okay, I want to end it. Just tell us about your Heaven is Watching project, man, that you got out right now, man.
Yeah, man. So, man, Heaven is Watching, man. God placed it on my heart, man, to tell the people my Heaven is watching. He looking at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't think that they not that the angels ain't watching.
Yeah, I heard the intro. You went through your whole catalog. You know what I'm saying? With it, that's your heart.
Yeah, man. And God told me he need 50 out of me. And it really because, man,
50 what?
Yeah, 50 tapes.
50 tapes. What you on now?
I'm 18. So I'm dropping it. I'm dropping again in December, like the 20th or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So he got 32 more.
Yeah, man. God he be setting me on fire, man. Like, it be crazy. Like, I write 4 songs in one day, like, and record them and be like, okay. So Heaven is Watching, man. Like, man, God gave me that after the 901. Like I said, I still think I'm gonna get back to that. I still think I'm gonna get back to it. Yeah. Oh, we good?
Yeah, I think we good. We good.
Yeah, okay. We still gonna get back to it or whatnot. Yeah. So Heaven is Watching, man, is what God placed on my heart, man. Just about, and it really was directed to me because I can find moments. So I don't want to paint a picture like Superman Fro. Right. I have moments where I be like, oh, I need to do something else. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes I done had the moments, and sometimes in gospel rap, nobody really inspires me. So, and we'll say, well, Jesus supposed to, yeah, he do. But if that was the case, it'd be a lot of us doing things that, know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so it show you sometimes it do take other people that you can look at and be like, so in gospel rap for me, I don't really have so much inspiration. Yeah. So he came to me and said, Fro, we watching. The angels is looking at you. Not only that, Fro, I'm gonna give you a bar that I need you to get to 50. And I'm a challenge type of dude. So it's like, we finna do this.
Let's do this.
He like, I need 50. Let me see if you can get me 50 before we get up out of
watching.
here. Yeah. Before we can get up out of here, let me see what's up.
Before you do this, like, tell the people real quick, because we always put our links and stuff. Like, tell the people where they can find you at, where they can find your music at. You know, any shout outs you want to give.
Yeah, like, man. UKnowFro, UKnowFro. That's the handle for all your digital music platforms. UKnowFro.com. Everything UKnowFro social media. Where my Adrian Fro Johnson page is the main page, but I still got a fan page, UKnowFro. But you know how they do them fan pages, sometimes they be tripping. Right. Man, shout out to my wife, man. You know, Stacy, man, I always support it, man. Man, she's man, she just a ride or die. Man, it comes to this ministry. You know what I'm saying? She if it wasn't for her too, man, I have moments where she is like, we gotta keep going. Yeah. You know, so she is she be with it too. She be with that too. Like let's keep going. So man, shout out to her, man, for sure, man. South, man.
That's key.
They know who it is. So
That's key. That's key. That's key. Y'all, until next time, continue with that executive mindset.
And most definitely keep it presidential.
Salute.
Arrivederci. Bow.
But don't be preaching to the heathens, though. I just looked at him and I said, and that's what my Bible say. You know what I'm talking about. Hey! God so loved that he gave his only son for the whole world. God so loved, he said it's finished and it's done for the whole world. God so loved that he gave his only son.